Jacob DeGrom is back, hopefully. And Andrew Benintendi was traded. Let's break it all down on Fantasy Baseball today in 5. Welcome into FBT in 5. As always, make sure to follow and stream us on Spotify. Today is Thursday, July 28th. I am Frank Sanford, joined by Chris Towers. Let's see. Jacob DeGrom hopefully says that he will be back next week. Rather, his manager, Buck Showalter, said so. And it looks like it could come Tuesday in Washington. Chris, your thoughts. Jacob DeGrom, where are you ranking? Expectations? Excitement level? What do you think?
I think he's basically an impossible player to rank because there may be no greater gulf between a player's upside and their downside than Jacob DeGrom for the rest of the season. There's every possibility that he steps on a major league mound, pitches the rest of the season healthy, and is the most valuable player, not just among pitchers, but all players in fantasy the rest of the season. That's how good he can be. He has a 1.94 ERA in 550-plus innings since the start of the 2018 season. The problem is, as we saw in spring training, he got through, I think, 3 spring starts, and all of a sudden everyone's like, great, Jacob DeGrom's healthy. We don't have anything to worry about. And he was going in the first round in every draft, and I think went number 1 overall in a couple of NFC drafts, and then he got hurt. Because that's the thing about a guy like Jacob DeGrom at this point in his career is just because he's currently healthy doesn't mean he's going to be healthy moving forward. Those are two very, very different things. And the second one is impossible to answer. So I'm going to just slot him in right around 24 at starting pitcher. That's where I've got him at right now. And maybe I'll watch him pitch and I'll just be so overly moved that I'll jump him up into the top 12. And that would be a perfectly defensible argument. It would also be perfectly defensible to leave him at 24 because of the injury risk or to move him down because of the injury risk. So I'm excited to see Jacob DeGrom pitch. I'm not thrilled about the idea of having to try to make sense of his value the rest of the season.
I hear you, man. It is tough. Let's move over to a trade. Andrew Benintendi was acquired by the New York Yankees in exchange for 3 pitching prospects. On the season, Benintendi is batting .320, 5th best in baseball, but kind of empty batting average. 3 homers, 4 steals. Chris, I think a lot of people will see this and think, oh, a lefty in Yankee Stadium, this is going to be great for his value. But Benintendi actually hits the ball to all fields, doesn't really put the ball in the air that much. What do you think this does for his value, if anything?
Yeah, there was a point in his career when he was with the Red Sox where he kind of got derailed by trying to hit the ball in the air and hitting it to the pull side more. And those are really bad things to do at Fenway Park where it's 380 feet out to, just off of left field once you get past that short foul pole. Yankee Stadium, obviously a great place for left-handed power, but I don't think it would be in Andrew Benintendi's best interest to try to hit the ball out of Yankee Stadium. So I'm not sure it's going to impact his value very much. I think he's probably just going to continue to be an empty batting average source, and it's probably going to be more like 280 than 320 moving forward. That's still useful, but when you combine it with really mediocre counting stats across the board, I'm not really all that excited about Andrew Benintendi. In a 3 outfielder categories league, unless you're desperate for batting average, I think he's pretty fringy in terms of being rosterable.
Yeah, I think if anything, it could help with the counting stats. I think he'll hit in the middle of the Yankees lineup, so runs and RBI could go up, but probably a better life move for the Yankees than actually for fantasy. Let's take a look at some middle infield adds in shallower leagues. Luis Arias went 1 for 2 with 2 walks, hit his 12th home run. He's 71% rostered. Josh Rojas went 2 for 4 with his 6th home run. He's having a really big July here, stealing a bunch of bases, hitting some doubles. Gavin Lux went 3 for 4 with 2 RBI, and since the start of June, he is hitting .338. He's 71% rostered. And Nolan Gorman went 2 for 4 with a sock and a shoe. His 10th homer, his first steal. Striking out quite a bit. Batting average is pretty low for Gorman. Chris, give me your favorite from this group from both a points league perspective and from a categories league.
And can you give me the names again? Luis Arias,
Rojas, Lux, and Gorman.
So I think in Roto, it would probably be Josh Rojas, who, brings a little bit of power and a decent amount of speed. 20 to 25 stolen base pace right now is what he's on over a full season. So I think that makes him a very valuable Roto option with some positional flexibility as well. In points, I want to say Gavin Lux because plate discipline is so good, but we talked about this on the full episode of the show. You go back to the start of June, he's hitting like 330, and he's on pace for like 75 runs, 55 RBI, 11 home runs, 7 steals because he hits low in the batting average, in the batting lineup for the Dodgers, and he's starting like 9 out of 10 games. So he doesn't have the opportunity to put up the counting stats, but maybe he gets traded into a better situation. Most players, you wouldn't say leaving the Dodgers would be a better situation. I think Gavin Lux is one of them because he might hit third in a different lineup. And so I think I would go with him. Gavin Lux is the points league guy moving forward.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Rojas in categories, Gavin Lux in points leagues. For more extensive fantasy baseball coverage, listen to the Fantasy Baseball Today podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, your smart speakers, or anywhere else podcasts are found. And thanks for listening to Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. We'll be back again tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.